Welcome to SAISD News.
I'm Connor McLaughlin from Central High School.
And I'm Yvette Ponce from Lakeview High School. We start off this week at Bonham Elementary, where students recently completed a unit on fairy tales with a special celebration.
Parents were invited to the school to join first graders in a fairy tale ball. Students dressed up as their favorite character and participated in many fun games and activities. Teacher Tammy Davis has more.
We study fairy tales and folk tales during the week, learn about the characters, settings, tragedy, just all the components of fairy tales. We compare it to real life and maybe lessons learned from folk tales, and then we celebrate at the end with our fairy tale ball. We start off with a feast and serve fruit, crackers, cheese, and then we go to different stations. They make crowns in one station, tools of the trade, so they have wands for the girls and swords for the boys. We have another one where there is a knight obstacle course, and they train to be a knight. And we have one just fun games for fairy tales. They help build the pigs' houses out of blocks and straws. They played games and fed the giant, and they put the slipper on Cinderella. It's kind of a fun day to celebrate the end of fairy tales.
Students at Bradford Elementary are having fun while learning lots of interesting things during the school's Friday Honor Clubs.
Friday clubs are offered once a week as an incentive for students who have passing grades. The clubs provide students opportunities to learn things that they might not learn in the regular classroom. Some examples of the clubs that are offered include Spanish Club, Art Club, Sign Language Club, Carpentry Club, and Dance Club. Principal Sarah Coronado explains why these clubs are so important to her students.
We tried to create honor clubs that would be based on student interest, and also to provide students with opportunities to do things that they may not otherwise be able to do outside of school. You know, they have working parents, and so, you know, just a lot of our kids just don't get to participate in extracurricular activities, so just a way and a means of enriching them. One of the clubs that we have is Team Sports Club. One of the key components for that club is just teaching them how to work well with others in cooperative settings. Some of the students just struggle with, you know, working with other students in a cooperative setting and good sportsmanship. So in that club, that's more what that is focused on, and that's also a great way for students to pick up on leadership skills as well. These are things that would also apply to the real life. So we want our students to have a quality life as well outside of here, and so we try to connect it to real life applications.
Next, we visit an art class at Central Freshman Campus, where students are putting the art skills they have learned this year to practice with the scratch art project.
Scratch art is a technique in which the artist scratches ink off of a board to reveal the metallic foil underneath. Students had to create an original design that showed depth by incorporating elements of art that they have learned this year, including shapes, lines, and forms.
Scratch art is encompassing a lot of the things we've learned in the first semester, and we're starting to culminate now in the second semester. They're learning on this specific project, it's a design in depth. So what they're doing is they're taking objects from the elements of art, line, shape, form, and perspective drawing, and they're using these skill sets that they've learned earlier in the year and applying them toward the scratch art composition. In the scratch art composition, we're going to use the geometric and free-form shapes and forms, and we're going to put them together in such a way that we're meeting the objectives of depth, where we can see depth in size, we can see depth in overlapping elements, we can see depth in the placement of elements on certain parts of the paper, and also using converging lines in one-point perspective.
Students at Fort Concho Elementary are learning about conserving water and giving back to the community by creating an aquaponics garden.
Fifth graders Caroline Detloff, Brianna Humphrey, and Tommy Young learned about aquaponics as part of a research project this year and decided to implement their own garden at the school. Aquaponics is a food production system that combines raising aquatic animals such as fish with growing plants in water.
Aquaponics is basically aquaculture mixed with a hydroponic system. Basically, the way it works is it's a closed-loop ecosystem. You have the fish in the tank, and what happens is the pump, it sucks up all the ammonia and the urates that the fish produce. It gets sucked up into the grow beds, which contains a media filter such as your expanded shell, and then it is used into the actual plant growing business, and then the water drains back down to the fish tank and you have clean water. You're using 90% less water than your standard farming or gardening. So it's, all in all, you're conserving water.
The students plan on donating all the food that is grown and raised in this garden to Rush Street Ministries.
And that does it for this episode of SAISD News. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
Bye.